Hi everyone, Sarah Pacaro here. Today's video is going to be about understanding how to experience joy in the aftermath of darkness. I recently put out a survey that asked about what the number one thing that you want or need support in after having been in a narcissistic relationship. And the top ones were rebuilding self-trust, self-forgiveness, trauma bond, so breaking that trauma bond, self-love, self-esteem, self-worth. So notice how many of those began with self-forgiveness, self-love, self-esteem, self-worth. A lot of the things that can be connected with that as well with past people I have worked with is self-confidence. Your self-confidence when you're in a relationship with a narcissist gets completely shattered. On the outside, you may seem put together, you may look confident, but you don't feel confident. So experiencing joy in the aftermath of darkness is multifaceted. So I want you to think for a moment about how you think, about what you think, about what you say to yourself when you're thinking as you're going through your day. What's the first thing you think about in the morning when you wake up? What's the first thought you have? And how does that thought impact your feelings? Do you wake up and just immediately go through this heavy to-do list that seems like it's never ending and then feel exhausted even though your day is just beginning? So language has such a powerful, profound impact on our day. So that is part of the healing journey and part of how you can experience joy in the aftermath of darkness. So with that, all of those self-love, self-worth, self-forgiveness, self-confidence, how much of it do you think you play a part in that? When you're healing from narcissistic abuse, there is an element, a level, a layer, a component about understanding about the narcissist, about understanding the terms that come with narcissistic abuse that when defined, make it easier for you to understand what you went through when you were in a relationship with that person. And then there's the other more profound, more significant part of this, and that is you, how you played a part in all of this, how your language, your confidence, your self-worth, your self-forgiveness, your self-esteem, your self-love, all of that is the bigger, more significant piece, part, and component of experiencing joy in the aftermath of darkness. So getting back to realigning, retuning, reconnecting with you and your language, your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, that is where healing truly, truly occurs. It's not an understanding or learning or knowing more about them. It is about returning home to you and who you are. So how much do you think you play a part in that? And whose responsibility is that? Who's going to return home to you for you, if not you? So if you've wondered why it is that what you're doing isn't working when you're reading books about narcissism or about healing or about how to find joy as if it's out there somewhere and it's your mission in life and your goal in life to find it out there like it's a buried treasure, no wonder you're still struggling and you're still suffering and you're still stuck. And that's where so many people find themselves. So how much reflection have you given these questions? How much do you think you play a part in that? Why is it that what you're doing not working? Where are you looking, right? If you're looking anywhere out there, it's going to feel impossible to find what you're looking for. So this experiencing joy in the aftermath of darkness is a two-part process. Part one, your words, your language, because those words and language are used to create a story, and then our mind works to make that story a reality for us. So for the vast majority of people, your words are working against you. They're causing resistance in your healing. They're causing this push-pull dynamic. You might take 2 steps forward, oh, but your language is off, so then you get pulled 2 steps back. You're putting so much time, energy, and effort into going one way, into breaking free, into healing, into finding self-love, compassion, self-confidence, forgiveness for yourself. and you're putting energy and effort, momentum that way. And you more than likely are saying, I am healing, I'm getting better, I'm feeling happy, I'm doing things different. But then the language that you use pulls you back the other way. So that's why most people feel this tug of war, this push and pull dynamic, because your language pulls you a different direction from your intention. So you say things to yourself and others, like, for example, I just want to focus on myself right now, or I just need to focus on myself right now. Okay. Slam the brakes. That is why you're not going very far in feeling and experiencing joy in the aftermath of darkness, is because you're saying things like that. I just want to focus on myself right now. I just need to, meaning that you're not actually doing that right now. You're not focusing on yourself right now because it's a want, it's a need, it's a desire, it's something that will happen at some point in the future. I need to, I want to, but right now I'm doing this. So words and language like I want to, I need to, they take the power out of your hand and they throw it into this vast, expansive, unknown time of the future. And it takes you out of the present moment. So what you're doing, feeling, believing, and experiencing in this present moment, which is the only moment that actually exists, is different from what you want to do, what you need to do, what you want to feel. So there's a divide, there's a gap. And sure, those words and phrases and language sound nice, and that desire is nice. And they look good on paper when you write them down, and they're your affirmations. I want to focus on myself right now when you're journaling, but they're doing diddly squat to change your present moment, to change how you're living, because they're separated from the present moment and separated from you now. And because they're not present tense, there's no sense of accountability or responsibility to do anything different than what you're currently doing. So you might as well get a giant bucket and label it hope and wish, and tear that piece of paper out, write it down, and throw it into that bucket, and then cross your fingers and play your favorite song while you just wait for that day to come and find that it never comes. So change must be followed by action. What are you doing now? And that's backed up by the words and the language that you use. And not putting it out there as I want to or I need to. It has to be positive and it has to be present. And then after that, change will follow. Action will follow. So what are you doing? Well, you need to start by changing your language, and then action will follow suit. When you change your language to the positive and present time, you excite and ignite your mind, and you make your mind want to do something good for you now because it feels something better. It no longer feels like, yeah, I mean, that would be nice, but girl, that's a lot of work. I'm tired. I just need to chill for a second. Okay, hold on. And then you get a text from your friend, and your friend's like, hey, what are you doing tonight? Let's go out downtown for a drink. And you're like, oh, I told myself I need to work on myself right now. And oof, I've been drinking a lot lately. So I told myself I wasn't going to drink as much. Because every time I do, I go out, I make stupid decisions. I come home with someone's name who I can barely remember. And because I'm getting older, not getting any younger, it takes a lot longer to recover. And then I just don't have time to focus on myself, because then, Monday rolls around and then I have to go to work on Monday. Do you see the problem with this? I mean, yes, that was kind of an ignited way to say it, but that's what people do and say to themselves all the time. That's the loop and the pattern that they get stuck in. And many, many people have good positive intentions, and they try affirmations and they use mantras or whatever you want to call them. And those are great, but Not if they're in the future tense. They are great as long as they're in the positive and present moment. So that's one component. Okay. And here's the other side of the coin. If those affirmations and mantras that are present and positive are not backed up and are not supported by your unconscious beliefs about yourself, remember self-love, self-forgiveness, self-confidence, self-worth, all of those, if they are not backed up, like they need a buddy system, right? When you go out. So your language needs a buddy system with your beliefs. And if they're not backed up by the unconscious beliefs, your unconscious beliefs about yourself, then they won't work. Throw them in the hope bucket, throw them in the wish bucket, because they won't work. You might as well throw them away. And that is where far too many people go wrong. They do all those things, but they don't do the unconscious work on changing their beliefs, reprogramming, rewriting, rewiring those unconscious beliefs. And they unfortunately stay stuck in that perpetual cycle of trying and not doing. So reprogramming, rewiring, rewriting that story that your unconscious mind is playing for you, so that what you want and need is aligned with what you truly believe about yourself. And when you get into that alignment, that state, that space, that flow, that is the magical sweet spot where true, lasting, permanent change takes place and occurs and starts to influence and impact every area of your life. Because it's from that space, from that state, and from that place that everything just seems effortless. All the things that you want, the positive things that you want, just seem to be magnetized to you, attracted to you. And that can be done with ease and grace. Even the seemingly hard things, they just suddenly don't seem or feel so difficult anymore. So it is in that space that you experience joy in the aftermath of darkness. So if this resonates with you and all the things that you have tried in the past haven't worked, and you're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired and feeling like you can't break the trauma bond from that last horrible relationship, or you can't seem to forgive yourself or find how to love yourself, you're looking in the wrong place. And more than likely, your language is supporting that. So it's a two-part process. That's the conscious awareness and focus on the language that you're using, because it's painting a picture of the story of your life, but it must be backed up with, like, that internal programming, the system that runs it must be in alignment with the powerful, positive, present beliefs that you have about yourself. And that work is done at the unconscious level. Try to do it consciously all day long, and you're going to just get your buckets ready, because you might as well throw that away, because you're going to feel very frustrated and done over it, right? And then more than likely, when you get to that point, you just go back to what you know to do, right? Even if you don't like it, because it's familiar, and that's how the mind works. So it is changing, restructuring, reprogramming, and rewiring those unconscious beliefs that you have about yourself to match and to get into alignment so that you can experience joy. That is the power of transformational healing, hypnosis, rapid transformational therapy. I am trained in all of those, and I would love to guide you on that journey if you are ready. If you're ready to transform, if you're ready to change, if you're ready to commit to yourself, to doing the work, to experiencing a completely different life, and to feel joy in the aftermath of darkness. So when you're ready for that, please click on the links in the videos below this, in the description below this video. You can find a ton more information there. You can hear testimonials from past clients and people that I've worked with, and you can experience for yourself what it's all about to live a completely different life and to experience joy in the aftermath of darkness. Because it is your birthright. You are destined to experience joy. We were not put here to struggle and to suffer and to have a series of bad relationships. That's just not, I mean, subscribe to that belief if you want, but it's absolutely one that I unsubscribe to. And everyone that I work with, I help unsubscribe to that as well. So again, I would love to talk to you more about that. And I look forward to connecting with you very soon.